kick us off. Go ahead, Adam.
In the early light, before the rooster crows, T-bus sits where the ticker flows. A coffee cup, a steady hand. He trades the market like a riverboat man. Oh, T-bus, he's trading his way through the peaks and the falls, come what may, with a gut full of grit and a heart that won't sway. T-bus, he did it his way. He watches the charts like the stars in the sky, looking for answers, a reason why. Some call it luck, some call it skill, but Tom just calls it paying the bills. Through the red and the green, he's danced with a line. Every loss and each win, a tale of his time. Oh, T-bus, he's trading his way through the peaks and the falls, come what may, with a gut full of grit and a heart that won't sway. T-bus, he did it his way. Not every day's a victory, not every trade a gold, but he's learned to weather storms, let the stories unfold. With his eyes on the prize, his heart in the fray, T-bus stands tall at the end of the day. Not every day's a victory, not every trade a gold, but he's learned to weather storms, let the stories unfold. With his eyes on the prize, his heart in the fray, T-bus stands tall at the end of the day. Not every day's a victory, not every trade a gold, but he's learned to weather storms, let the stories unfold. With his eyes on the prize, his heart in the fray, T-bus stands tall at the end of the day. Not every trade a gold, but he's learned to weather storms, let the stories unfold.
Testing 1 2 3. Testing 1 2 3. Can everybody hear me okay? Let's go to a live market if we can. Live market. Philip, I'm so proud of you. Way to go. I don't have it in here, but I'll reprint it and let everybody see what paying attention pays. Let me do that real quick, see if I can find it. Bill, we'll make sure you get added. I'll get Jonathan to check it. Is Jonathan here?
Yeah, Tom, you're looking at my screen here.
You see what Bill said? Can you take care of that for him?
Bill has been added to the Telegram channel, if that's what you're referring to. I had to log out and log back in. I can't see that message now, but I think I already took care of Bill before I logged out.
Yeah, that's what he was. He wanted to make sure he was in there. All right. All right, if you look at the roadmap right now, we're at 24. So that's the first thing I want to do. But I've got a pivot number at 15. The target number would be the old high, 67.55. Let's go to MTI, if you can, Jonathan, live on MTI. Bring MTI up.
Okay, can do that. Hang on, Tom. You say your pivot was 67.15 and that was the low this morning? 67.15?
Yeah, that was my pivot, 67.15. I posted at 5 o'clock this morning.
Yep, and that was The exact low it went down to on RB3 this
Came
morning.
down to the pivot. That's
Good
why I
stuff.
want to talk about this. I got things, I want to show us on MTI. I want to bring up that website that keeps track of the government shutdown. The resistance up there, I've typed in TNT's 35 right now, 67.35 for those that may be in a trade or something. Silver looks good going higher right now, but everything falls if they shut this baby down. Today is the last legislative day. They've got a meeting scheduled. Does anybody know the time they're having the meeting with the 4 leaders? Anybody know what time that is today? Is it after, in the afternoon probably? I'm guessing. I love working with students. They give me some good information when you're trying to figure out how to make money, All right, MTI, the first thing I want to put up here is E-mini. Put the E-mini up there, Jonathan, if you will.
3 p.m. Eastern time. Thomas, what is the word is, at least?
Okay, 3 p.m. That's good. That's good to know.
Okay. Back focusing on here on MTI by DTI. We're looking at the S&P futures.
Right, and the low that we went to was 15, correct?
Right, and you can see that over here on the short-term chart where my mouse.
Yeah, folks, that there is probably the best number below. Notice to throw MTI on the short term in a sell. Does everybody see that? And your support will come in. Let me give you the numbers. Write this down. If it drops 67.15, the next support is 66.95. 66.95. Write that number down. And support from there would be 66.84. 84. Now, the next thing I want to do is look at AGQ. AGQ.
Okay, here's AGQ.
All right, if you look at AGQ, you'll see that AGQ is in a buy signal. That's silver. Does everybody see that over on the right-hand side, left-hand side, right-hand side? Okay. Now, what do you do with that? You can sit there and you can make money using that short term, playing off that long-term buy. Does everybody see how simple it is to put 2 lines up there and know what to do? Okay, everybody got that? Would y'all acknowledge that, if you will? Acknowledge that, if you will. Okay, perfect. Okay, now let's go. That's AGQ. We looked at the E-mini itself. The other stock Chuck mentioned was NVIDIA. Let's just take a look at NVIDIA on a snapshot view on NVIDIA.
NVIDIA looking good today.
All right, the first thing I look at is the left-hand side of the screen. It's bullish. Then I look at the right-hand side and say, okay, if I would have bought NVIDIA, I would have bought it today about 180. Circle that little breakout there above the white lines on the short term. So on the short term right there, yeah, everybody see that? This is what I love about MTI. Straight to the point and you make money. Okay, now let's put, if we will, silver futures in here, silver futures. And the reason I want to use silver futures because AGQ is sort of like silver futures, the only difference on the stock side. Set an alert on silver futures. I would set an alert really down there, that low bar below the white line on the short term. Where's that number? Right there. That's where I'd put an alert.
That's about 40. I'm going to put it at 46.60 or 46.
Yeah, 46.60. That's your breakdown of silver. Okay. Does everybody see that? That's your breakdown of silver. Okay.
Everybody know how to set an alert on Thinkorswim?
Yeah, you want to show them how real quick?
For this time I just put my mouse right around where I wanted to set it, 46.61 or 60.06 is fine too. I'm going to right click now that my mouse is where I want it. And I'm going to scroll over create alert. Hit single. You can adjust it if you want to. I'm just going to change it to add or below and leave it at 61 and click create. And it should be on the chart. Let's see what's going on here. Add or below. There it goes. Just took a little time to register. I got 2 alerts now. It's a good measure. Everybody get that?
We did.
Okay, good.
Now, if you're in the SPX, the resistance number for the SPX is 6675. Put SPX in there. Okay. The SPX, this is the tricky part. The SPX is bullish, right? Everybody see it's bullish. Jonathan, what price did can you look at today? It opened and gapped up, right? Because it's cash.
Yeah, I did. And the cash low I've got here 66.61.
Now, this is going to set up a play. Jonathan, we will have a 3:30 to 4 class in SPX this afternoon. Set up a trade there. It's going to set up a trade for the selling premium, not buying the premium, because what they did is they marked up the premium on SPX this morning, and that's the hard part about buying calls for the SPX 0 dated. The better play will be to do a trade this afternoon between 3:30 and 4, and I'm going to be live with my SPX people this afternoon, 3:30 to 4. Okay? That's what I'm going to do. All right, now. Oh, 1 second. Hold on. Hold on 1 second. Adam, were you able to get the roadmap message out? I'm just curious. Were you able to get that out to people? I'm going to see if there's any effect.
Hey T-Buzz, yeah, but I messaged you back with the details on it. Not everybody's going to get it.
All right, yeah, that message did go out, and let's see, got the slides posted again for everybody. Marge, that would have been a roadmap pop-up. So if you've got roadmap software, that would have popped up right on your screen. They do a good job of keeping everybody in communication.
Hey,
Looks
sorry
like
about
Tom is
that.
back.
Can you hear me, Chuck?
Yeah, we got you, Tom. I saw you were on the phone. I figured I'd jump in and speak.
No, I'm
with you.
glad you did, Chuck, because I've been waiting on a call. I waited on the phone. I just said how long it would take. And I said, goodness gracious, I had to go a different way to get who I wanted to talk to. And they finally, of course, they called during my presentation, right?
That's the way it always happens. That's Murphy.
Oh, you know that's the way it always happens, okay? All right, so anyway, some people got it, some didn't. I'm going to get it fixed where everybody gets it that's got the roadmap, okay? I'll get that fixed. I hadn't used it so many years. I developed it years ago because I thought it'd be a good way to bring people in for trading and that kind of stuff. And, have it pop up on the screen. Hey, meeting, here's a link type thing, okay? Now, let's bring up the last thing I want to do, John, before I go with the slides. bring up, does everybody understand why I love MTI by DTI? Does everybody understand that you put anything in, put options in here even? Okay. Now, last thing I want to do is look at the government shutdown numbers, see what's happening over there. If the meeting's at 3, you're gonna have some stuff going on, I guess, you know.
All right, I got that web page loading in here. It's at 65% there, Tom.
Okay, so that's come up.
5. Something around.
It's 65 right now. Well, Saturday, here's a number. Saturday, I was watching it on Saturday, and it was 75. 75 on Saturday. Okay. And so Republicans passed a continuing resolution in the House, and so this will be on I guess the people there to make it happen, if they can make it happen or not. But keep your eyes on this thing, because I think the higher it goes, if it goes above 80, I think you've got a government shutdown, and I believe the market's going to fall 5 to 7%. Okay. Hopefully, if I'm right on that, that's what I believe if that occurs. Okay. Everybody understand what I'm thinking? Why I'm being really cautious here. Because once that happens, I think this market, based on the news I've been reading, should be record highs now. Okay. And I'm going to develop, I'll just let everybody know, you don't want to miss any of my meetings. I'm going to develop some places that we could get positioned for the next leg up, okay? And if people have been with me a lot of years know that when it comes to this, I really get focused on where those opportunities are. So don't miss anything, or watch a recording if you can, okay? Yeah, gold and silver drop too, Laura. That's the problem. Everything drops if the S&P drops. You know, there's a correlation on the S&P to gold, 88%. It's hard to believe, isn't it? Anyway, I'm playing the market. Let's go back to the roadmap real quick. Jonathan on E-mini. I'm playing the market. Did you get my message where I said play this market reference bar to reference bar? Okay. Oh yeah, Robin, everything will drop. Number one rule is 75% of all stocks will follow the S&P. Why not spend so much time on the S&P? Because 75% of all stocks follow it. That's why you hear me give you pivot numbers and why I do things to set that up, okay? Any questions about what I just said? Okay, the SPX is falling now, right? Why do you think the SPX is falling now after the market rallied all morning? S&P. What are we looking at? Jonathan showing the bottom of the S&P. You got it right there? Can you do a cursor? And they can see why everything's falling. Once you learn my approach, you'll be so much better off. I promise you. This is a direct line to market timing. That's why we've had so much success right now with the people in my SPX, because I spent so much time teaching this stuff, okay? Yeah, the VIX is one of the things I'll be looking at. In fact, Robin, the VIX right now is up almost 1%, okay? Is this opening people's eyes to what I keep telling you about the S&P? It should. You ought to be saying, hey, wait a second, why am I looking all over here when I should be looking here? Okay? It's okay to go long and do things, but you gotta use tight stops and this kind of cloud over the market. That's all I'm saying. Okay? Anyway, I want to show in that. Let's go to the slides now. Does it help me doing this in the front end this way? Give me some feedback. Does this help you when I go to a live market like this and give you these kind of numbers to help guide the trading? Okay, I just want to make sure because I could have done the slides, but MTI by DTI is so important in these kind of markets. Okay. Now, high degree of risk involved in trading, extremely high when the government's about to shut down. Past performance is not indicative of future results. In my opinion, you've got to be very careful over the next 48 hours. It's one thing for the uncertainty to be removed, okay? It's one thing for that to happen, but it's at a height right now. It's growing. That uncertainty is growing. That's my opinion. This is the website I would tell you during these periods of times. It's a great website. In fact, they highlighted this. Does anybody get the Wall Street Journal? Did anybody get the Wall Street Journal? Let me ask that question. There's an article on the front page talking about this website. Brian, did you read it on Couchy? Maybe. Hey, Brian, do me a favor. Can you copy and send that to Jonathan Rowe at DTI Trader? Then we'll distribute to everybody the article on this, okay? Jonathan, be on the outlook for that, if you will, okay? Article on the front page. All right, the retirement center. This is growing. And Jonathan, you need to give me those names, by the way, today. I got to have them. Join the retirement telegram. Get joined. And we will meet Friday at 2 o'clock. By that time, it'll be the third day. It'll be good. If you need the referral, go to Rowe at DTI Trader. He'll give it to you. He keeps track of that stuff. Okay? Now, this is our weekly newsletter. It comes out the day after 4, okay? And I think it helps you. You know, all the key news this week will be posted in this weekly trade letter that comes out after the close today. What time? 4 o'clock Eastern. I'll give you my 5 best stocks for the week. And, you know, if you're not joined, you could join for $9.99 for a year. Take advantage of that one. All right, let's look at the 3 days. See where we are here, finishing up the month. You're probably going to see a lot of green. You know, Jonathan, it would be good at the end of the month, you'll take the last day and put a high column for the month and a low column for the month. That would be helpful for me to study, okay? You take all these tickers, just put the high and low for the month on there as a slot because I really need it the last day after we finish the month, okay?
Yep, I can do that.
Okay. Everything looks good according to this. But we know something this sheet doesn't know, doesn't we? We know there's a cloud forming out there today. Okay? You know, I should have put Bitcoin in MTI. We'll do that at the very end today. After I finish all the slides, we'll do that at the very end. Okay? Through the research key, Robin. Learn the research key. I use it all the time. Welcome to Train and Trade. We're going to try to have that theme song played right at 11. That way everybody can turn their computer on if they're signed in and know when we're really getting geared up. Now, Chuck will be on for pre-trade and train comments, answer questions, do that stuff. Then I'll come on when the music stops. That'll be the plan. Reminder, if I do any trades today, tomorrow, next week, they'll all be posted in my T-Buzz Talk and Trade, my 24-hour trade room. Actually, 7 days a week, I post things in there when it's important. www.dtitrader.com/10T. Get joined. Do not hesitate. We're going into the best season of the year. Make it happen. I'd like to see a bunch of people join that. Today's focus, how to find key levels in a market with the research key. Robin, you must have read the press. That's exactly what we're doing. Key levels, the research key. One of the oldest features in here. The reason I invented it is because of Chuck. Chuck was such an impressive, back in the day, young guy. And I said, I'd really like to have that inside the RoadMap. And so I built it because of Chuck. I can go back on a daily basis, weekly, even on a monthly basis. Go back in time. The research key. I like the research key because I can find numbers like the number I gave you about 66.95, and then I gave you 66.84, and the next one down 66.65. That all comes from the research key. All those numbers, going back, knowing where to look, you can find them. Very simple to see. Now here's a daily look at the data. Notice we got the midpoint for the day. We got the RBs reported. A lot of key information, okay? And this, if you think about it, it's got RB1 right there. RB1's happened, right? 66.97. Look at it. Right there. Midpoint, 67.16, matches my pivot number. A lot of key information is off the daily. When you look at the week, you get a bigger picture. Notice the midpoint, still 67.16. Do you think 67.15 is a big number today? Goodness, right there in front of you. And that's today's range, right? Been as high as 36, open at 97. They bought it from the opening last night. They've been buying it, and now they're correcting it.
And Tom, I'm going to hop over to the live view to answer Robin's question about what the yearly low is. And you can see on the, or you should be able to see the live view now, RoadMap. There's a tab at the top for a year. This year, and this is all correct now, regardless of, in the past, you had to have a continuous symbol. Well, Schwab changed their feed. The S&P December contract, which is our current contract, is showing the correct numbers here. So the open of the year is 59.49. Of course, we got the high up at 67.56, and the low of the year is 48.32.
So we started at 48.42, right? You know the 3-day, here's a question for you that they could find out. You don't know off the top of your head. I don't know off the top of my head, but what was the 3-day high this year on the E-mini?
Yeah, it actually this year took about half the year for us to really solid up and start trending higher. Can't remember the exact time frame, but if we go back to the first of the year, the 3-day high was 60.68 and 3-day low was 58.74. That was to start the year.
What was the two numbers?
60.68 and 58.74.
58.74. Okay, so if you look at that, that gives you a head start on the year. And I use this every year for this very reason I asked the question. Okay, there's your numbers that define the year. Pretty good stuff. Okay, anyway, I'd like to ask that question. Or if you know a Fed meeting, you know, when we ask Chuck sometimes, Chuck, what was the pivot number on the Fed? He goes back into the research key and finds that number. It's a wonderful feature. It's one of the first features that we had in the roadmap. Very proud of it. I use it all the time. All right, Jonathan.
So that's the research key. Don't talk about it often, but it's great. It's especially great when the market comes under a little pressure. You can go back and quickly find those key highs or lows from the past market.
Exactly. You know, and it's something you gotta have. Everything inside the roadmap is to save you time in the future.
That's right. Answer the question long, short, or out and save you a whole bunch of time. Believe me, Chuck and I can both attest to that. All the work we've done for Tom, getting him the information that he needs. We like it, Tom, when you say, hey, let's put that in the roadmap.
Yeah, that's where I'm getting my 8 o'clock numbers now. I know last night at 8 o'clock where these stocks are, which gives me a chance to evaluate things as they happen. Okay. All right, we got other slides. What we got?
You covered MTI at the top of the show today, which was great. The rest of the slides are about an MTI by DTI.
Okay.
For those that don't know, that it's called the market timing indicator, MTI by DTI, and it is it's an indicator that Tom built for the Thinkorswim platform from Schwab. So if you have Schwab Thinkorswim, you can get this and put it on your platform and have MTI for you to go through and study the markets. What it is it includes long-term and short-term charts. We showed that earlier. And I got a few snapshots here again on the slides, but there's also something we call the opportunity scanner, where you can scan the markets for stocks that are sitting long or short. Yeah, for opportunity. That's right, based on MTI. So we looked at this live, but there's a snapshot of the S&P futures. The left chart is the long-term chart. All right, above the white lines, we're trending higher. Over here on the right-hand chart was the short term. This is before we started. When we were live, Tom pointed out the 67.15 low this morning. Said that was his pivot. And he said if we get below that number, we would be below pivot and we'd be below the white lines in the short term, which should tell you something. Here's silver. We looked at silver live. Here's a snapshot of it. Again, long term on the left, short term on the right. Here's AGQ. And I don't know if you can see this, but on the AGQ chart, there's a little gray line that sometimes can have some pretty significant shifts. It's a horizontal line until we get to the start of a new month, and then it shifts up. So you can see that if you follow my mouse, you can see that month open line shift up. That's going to be the one that only shifts with every new month. And here's NVIDIA. Took off this morning on short term.
Yeah, the nice thing about it, now you know where you got to get out of it. See that little magenta line right there? Where's that line on NVIDIA, just for everybody's edification?
Well, at the time I took this snapshot, it was at 181.64.
You gotta like that.
If I look at
Pete, I do. Pete, let me answer Pete's question. Great question, Pete. What I do is I look at those last two bars and not just the bar I'm in when I'm looking at whether I'm above or below. So if you look at the current bar, for example, on the SPX, the current bar is below the last two bars. And that tells me it's going to come down. Then I go to my support level on the SPX at 66.58. My next stop down is 66.32. That's how I use it. Pretty cool stuff, this MTI, I'm telling you.
It is very cool and it's simple. You know, a lot of folks that I've talked to like that it's simple and they might focus on the short term, but a lot of them just focus on that long-term chart, keeping the bigger picture in mind, and it's great.
Especially the scanner
Definitely for
for
that.
long term, right, Jonathan? I mean, it lets you know when things are moving. Y'all remember in Sawgrass, who came to Sawgrass? And we had those two stocks, Circle and Coreview. We traded the heck out of those two stocks because it went to a long-term buy on the opportunity scanner right there in Sawgrass, and we just wore it out for about 2 or 3 weeks. Mr. Kelly says Chuck is still impressive. Orange ball, Jonathan, you know what he's talking about? What little orange ball?
That is indicating the first trade day of the week.
Well, that's something I learned too, Neil.
And you can add, I mean, there's so many indicators on here that, you know, you can clean it up to make it look nice and neat, or you can add like the high and low stamp from Mondays. It'll tell you the actual high number and low number.
Let me tell you something else I do. Did everybody see up at the top left where it's got percentages up or down? Everybody look at that? It's got the weekly and it's got the monthly and the yearly. Everybody see that?
Right up here.
Yeah, I look for a increase from one week to the next on tickers that I'm looking at. For example, put silver. Oh, you can't do that, but I guess you could if you went and put silver in there. You could.
Yeah, we can go. Actually, I got it here. There you go.
Okay, if you look at silver, read the percentages left to right. I can't see them.
So this is, again, when I took the snapshot, the year percentage was up 60%.
That's big, but that's big, boys and girls. 60. What was that? Was the year? What's the month?
15%.
That's big when you take the month. Think about this. How much if you were up 15% every month for the rest of the year? You got 3 months, so you're talking 45% higher from here, right? Okay. Everybody see that? Okay. And then you get to the week. Look at the week.
The week is 1.39% when I took this.
Yeah, so 1.39 for the week. And so that's sort of your bottom line if you're trying to stay in silver. You know, 1.5% from here. That's the way you use that. But I use it to find early movers by looking at those percentage of movements and see, in fact, if we got momentum increasing. All right. That's the silver, short term and long term. I like it. There's NVIDIA. We talked about it, and that magenta line. I use that magenta line a lot for stocks.
Then we have the opportunity scanner, and what it is you can see here on the slide. Let me make sure you're looking at slides still. Yeah, slides. The left scanner I've got listed here is the daily. It's based on the daily chart. So like all these, and we showed slides on S&P futures, silver futures, AGQ, and NVIDIA. Those all are green. And it says that because if we go look and cycle through these long-term charts, you can see that they're above their MTI lines. Those white lines are above those white lines. All of them are. So that's why they're all green. All right. If they were below their MTI lines, and we can go to the live market in a little bit here, Tom, if you want, but if they were below their MTI lines, that box would be red. So you'd know that it was long-term trending down, or at least below their MTI lines. And then the intraday over here to the right is based on the 30-minute intraday chart that we showed you a moment ago. All right. You can build your own watch list of stocks, which is what I've done here for this slide, and add the opportunity scanner to that watch list to see it. Or you can utilize Thinkorswim's pre-built watch list. I called up the NASDAQ 100 and I cycled it to sort to all the longs. And this was a look from earlier today. These bright greens here were stocks that were getting above their MTI lines this morning. After not being above them is what that means. Of course, the S&P is now below pivot, so you got to be cautious of that. But we have all kinds of, if you get the MTI by DTI, you'll learn what all these symbols mean. Dark green means they've been in a long-term bullish signal. The bright colors means they're trying to break out today or break down if it was bright red. Make sense?
Does to me.
Yep. And this was new, by the way. When MTI first started, Tom, correct me if I'm wrong, but I think it was just a long-term and maybe short-term chart. But we've constantly, you've been adding,
anytime I work with something like this, I constantly, heck, during Sawgrass, we added opportunity scanner numbers. I said, I like numbers, and we did that while we were sitting right there. Tom Delager did it while we were having the class. Carol came up to me and says, I can't believe he did that while we were sitting there.
I couldn't either. That was pretty awesome. Yeah, it sure was.
I said, when I put him on the spot, he didn't have any choice. I wasn't going to let him out of there until he did it. But he did a good job doing it. Yep. All right. All right, folks, we're thinking about, let me just tell you this. Those that have this license are to be glad. We're thinking about changing the pricing, and I've got a few more upgrades that's really worth a fortune. So if you want to get in MTI, do it now. Do not wait. Does anybody want to do that? I'll have Adam give you what I call the jet link. The jet link it comes to me and him to let you know you're immediately in there, and I'll follow along to make sure you're getting your value, okay? In the jet link, okay? So if anybody wants to sign up for it, type your name and email in here, and Adam will post the jet link to you, okay? If anybody wants the MTI, now's the time. This is for a lifetime too. So I think we're going to cut out doing the lifetime, because I think that'd be the easiest thing to do. So we haven't got a date on that, but we are thinking about it, okay? Just let you know, take it now while it's offered. Got any questions? Talk to Kelly, Jeffrey, or Kareen. They'll be glad to help you. Chad, he'll help you. Okay.
If you do join, and we hope you do, the member site has a market timing indicator section where you can go find all the current codes. All the current, Will, you were asking about that. Head over to the members area, go to market timing indicator, and we got all the codes there. And there's an instructional video, step by step, walks you through how to load in the indicator. And during that video, teach you a little bit about how to use it as well.
Jim says, remember when we first introduced it, we introduced it at $7.97. Now it's $14.97. And if you take the lifetime away, I don't like lifetimes for software because we're still spending a lot of money to keep this thing updated. And so I think we're going to get away from that. But anyway, the bottom line is, if you want the lifetime, take advantage of it now. Mike will make sure you get the jet link. We'll let Kelly know and get you in there. Thanks for stepping up like you did. We'll get you in there for a lifetime. Okay, Adam, I'll take care of it right now, I'm sure. All right, so here's the next time I'm gonna be on is 3:30 to 4. Let's go back to MTI real quick, Jonathan. I want to show him something real quick, tell him what I'm looking for on the E-mini on MTI. If you look at MTI, is that live right there? That's live?
Yeah, and this is silver.
Oh, that's silver. Okay. Yeah, that's silver. Silver right now is pushing higher. Does everybody see why I say it's pushing higher? It's in the top half of the last 3 bars. What's that high across the top there, that red bar on silver? To the right, the short
Yeah,
term.
it looks like 4740-ish area right here.
Yeah. So you could take that, if it takes that on silver futures, and what you could do is go get into AGQ for a day trade. Okay. The other thing I want to do real quick, let me give it to everybody and let's just go through it. I got a note from Philip. He was talking about all the stocks making money. Philip, can you repost the total amount of money you made off my 10 tickers? Put Apple in there real quick. This is the 10 ticker play. Okay, Apple's definitely not a buy. Put Palantir in there. Okay, put Uber in there. There's one that paid you, Uber. Uber's a good one. Gold, put gold in there. This is where it starts getting good. Gold. Look at that, folks. That's off MTI, gold off the 10 tickers. SLV, put it in there. Yeah, it's getting ready to rock. Okay, put KGC. TQQ was 105.55. How high did it get, Jonathan?
Not that high. Did
That's
not
right.
get to
Didn't
105.
trigger. Okay. How about the SPY? How high did the SPY get?
During the cash market hours, the high got only up to
Yeah.
665 quarter or so.
All right, and put Tesla in there. Let everybody see Tesla. Okay, and QQQ. See how everything's rolled over because the S&P. Now put it back in there. E-mini on the S&P. Y'all see S&P's going in a short-term sale. Do y'all see how the effect the S&P has on all the stocks that were soaring? I want you to see that in real time like that. Huh, you gotta have MTI. All right, Jonathan, I think Adam's gonna play something for everybody, but thank you for coming, and I'll see the SPX SSP people today. Way to go, Philip. I'll be back at 3:30, Jonathan, 3:30 to 4, okay?
Sounds good. I'll see you
Philip,
then.
post your number. I'd like to talk to you real quick. Philip, if you got it, post your number and him will call you. Okay.
I'll get the slides posted. Tom, thank you. I'll see you at 3:30. I'll get everybody there that's in the SPX program.
Yep.
And as Tom mentioned, we're gonna take a listen to last night's
Let's do
planning
it
session. Yep.
in the short term. We call it the market timing indicator. The market timing indicator. We've abbreviated and we say it's MTI by DTI. You got to be a computer whiz to use this one. If you can know the current price, know how to read this, you will be better at trading and analyzing anything you'll see on TV or anybody you ever listen to if you'll follow a couple simple rules. Who likes that? Who would like to have that inside ability to look at any market, any ticker to determine what you should be doing? I'd say if we're in a classroom and we're at Sawgrass, which happens on the first weekend of June, this year it'll be on May 31st, you know what? I would say, how many of you are using MTI by DTI? All you have to do is copy that link, you get it. Very simple to put in, takes you less than 4 minutes. You go through your portfolio. What a week to have this. Jim says I use MTI every day, all day long. I do too, Jim. John, everybody that's got it loves it. It was something that I put together with my good friend Tom Delager over an Easter weekend over 2 years ago. We were looking for a simple way to get people on the right side of the market. You put this on your computer, you dial it in, and you got the news. Let me show you how easy it is. Watch this. Bang. Copy, paste it, and we got a download guide to show you how to do it. Pretty good stuff, step by step. I like steps, don't you? In the video download guide, you see exactly what to do to get the market timing indicator up and running. No extra steps, that's simple. The simplest thing in the world to do. All you have to do is see it. You see that look right there? That arrow is pointing up, isn't it? What would that mean? That means whatever ticker you had in there was telling you it was going higher. Okay? That's pretty cool. I talked to Nate about this. I had him do some work with me on it. TGTX was an example. Look at it now. Called it way before it happened. It gives you a forecast. You got two charts. You got a daily chart and a 30-minute chart, or you can take it down to 15 minutes to get on the right side of the market. Anytime, day or night. That's the beauty of it. TGTX was an example of forecasting the market. It was about to take off on the daily. When it got above, now it's long on the daily, then it got long on the short term. It's time to fire off. That's simple. We also included to tell you what stocks are best performing in here. If you get the market timing indicator, you get what we call our opportunity scanner. Analyze the entire stock market. That's what it looks like. Can y'all read that? The top 4 stocks are telling you to get short. Everything after that is telling you to get long. That's pretty simple, isn't it? Like a green light, red light. You see it, and it keeps up and doesn't jump back and forth either, like a lot of those things do. This is a solid signal when it happens. You know when to get in, when you got the match. Above the long term, above the short term. Can you write that step 1 down? Put that in here. Step 1, above the long term, above the short term. That's a buy. December 8th, it found Universal Health had a new buy signal. And what happened? It went straight up. Look at it. There it is, the green arrow. Everybody was negative. Look at it then. Took off like a rocket once the signal came. The market timing anywhere, you saw the impression, 151% on options in 45 days. Folks, this thing plays for keeps. Here's BlackRock. Look at that. There's the buy, BlackRock. There's the green arrow, and there's the tear it went on. This just doesn't happen once. Look at that. You see that 310% in less than 2 months? Pretty good stuff. The opportunity scanner gives you these opportunities every day. You put it into your system and it does it. Plus the market timing indicator signaling your entries and exits on each trade. Now, we started to price it, but then we came up with a better idea. How many people like getting something and owning it, where you never pay anything else? That is MTI. Once you subscribe to MTI, it's yours. And we give you free upgrades too. Now, we started there, became a lot lower to do this. Get you to take action. I wanted everybody to have it on their computer where I understand when I say, hey, we're going to buy on this silver. Put silver in there tonight. you'll see what I'm talking about. We have a workshop I created on how to use it long-term. Nothing complicated, but I go through the steps to make a long-term trade right here with MTI. What about if you want to be short-term, which would be very handy this week? I go through the steps. Swing trade, few days. It's all there. Income trades, you like extra income? I use it all the time for that. And then once you have all that training, put it together in a simple, usable format where you're organized in steps with what you're trying to accomplish, which is grow your account. This is a powerful master class on putting it all together for you. You can take, regardless of your experience, you can take and be ahead of a lot of people. Clear overview of the market timing indicator. Any strategy, it's all incorporated the way I would think about it, using all my experience, get me on the side of the market that's good. They wanted to sell the workshop separately. I said, no, it's part of the program. You got to have the education, don't you? So I said, no, we're going to include it. The market timing indicator, you get all the master classes, totally part of the package. They stuck with that price. I said, no, let's get better. Carol, one of our greatest students of all time, I would call her, okay? She loves it. Thank you, Carol, for chiming in from California. In fact, after the market timing indicator, and after you figure out the opportunities, can you remember when we did that at Sawgrass? I got him to program the intraday for us with the numbers. Pretty cool stuff. Entry, trailing stop, and extra criteria is all there. Now, we're not going to pay the $3.99. I'm here live tonight. I want you to get it. If you don't have it, use the market timing indicator right tonight. Because you're here, I'm live. I'm going to give a 50% discount on the price. The market timing indicator, $19.97, but I'm not done. I'm going to go further. Not done yet. During this webinar, while I'm live, direct access for the rest of your life at no additional cost. All upgrades included, no subscription fees, no data fees, no annual renewals, recurring charges, anything like that. It's all there. Make your decision, included the unlimited free code updates that we do. That means if we add any new features or functions to market timing indicator opportunity scammer, there it is in the code. Get the new download, and that's your update without having to pay the upgrade fee. $19.95 is for a lifetime is an absolute steal. It's such a good indicator. You gotta have it. NVIDIA was on top of NVIDIA when it was making 24% in a month, not just 1 month, but many months. Lunar became a moonshot after it got to buy suit. MSTR did the same thing, 214% gain on that one. Nothing should stop you tonight. MTI, the additional $500 off takes the total price down to $14.97. It's the lowest price it'll ever be, folks. $14.97. There's no short term. You own it. We give it to you and we keep you going. You'll use this thing for years to buy that out. Here it is. If you're ready, post it in here. Save thousands of your lifetime membership right now. Additional $500 off. Click the link in the chat. Go to dtitrader.com/MTI. Now here's what I'm gonna say. If you want this right now and you want to get in the fast lane to get it, put your name in here. Adam will send you the special link that takes you through all the noise and gets you right to the buy zone. Okay? So if you want it, tell us now. Adam will handle that. and we will give you that special link saying, hey, here it comes. Don't trade without MTI. Any questions? Any questions at all? You only got, you know, sometimes I'll say, yeah, I remember these 5 steps or these 4. With MTI, you got 2 steps. 2 steps. Above the white lines on the left, above the white lines on the right, you got to buy. Also tells you about sales too. The training's inside your membership area, Jennifer, if you want to go through those master classes. John Sprouse, send him the direct link, Adam. John won't send. Yes, that's a great question. Emmanuel just asked probably one of the best questions. Do you get notified when we do upgrade it? The answer is 100% yes, we give it to you. We definitely do it. You know, the beautiful thing about it, since stocks traded at 8 tonight, right? 8. If you put TQQ in there tonight into MTI by DTI and you incorporate it with what's going on, got a pretty decent trade. Pretty cool. Great question, Emmanuel. Don't trade without MTI. Go to dtitrader.com/MTI. Now, if you join new, because this is a very serious week, I will spend some time tomorrow in Train and Trade showing you what's setting up, so don't miss it. Any other questions anybody might have? I covered upgrades. If you need any help, we do have special help for you. No, because it's a lifetime, Zoom. It's a lifetime. This is a lifetime. Takes you outside that. There is a Telegram channel, Jennifer. We'll put the link in there once you join, where you'll be in the Telegram channel. It's got its own Telegram channel. If David's here, if you trade silver tonight, short term, it's good. To the long side. I thought I'd throw that out to David. He just joined us for a one-on-one coming to Ponte Vedra Beach. Just finished a class. He signed up for a one-on-one. Anybody got any other questions? I think I've covered everything. Let me summarize. The market has a cloud over it, but that doesn't mean we can't trade inside the different key times, the reference bar times. That's number 1. Number 2, I'll be back at 11 o'clock tomorrow. Number 2. Number 3, the probabilities this Friday are strongly bullish. Number 3. Number 4, I will, during Train and Trade, I will focus a little bit on MTI with certain tickers that are into the zones. Number 5, if the government shuts down, expect a 5 to 7% drop in equities if the government shuts down. That's the way I handicap it tonight, 5 to 7% drop. Number 6, the key number to the downside is 66.19. Number 7, Mickey Mantle. Get MTI tonight and be part of the growing crowd of successful traders that are using it. That's 7, folks. Did you enjoy the presentation? Did I hit the point? Did I tell you exactly where to go find the money this week? I did. Thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Yes, you can trade crypto on MTI. Any ticker that's live, any ticker's live. If you're here for the first time, stay in touch. If you want to hear me again, I'll be back at 11 tomorrow. And if you want to trade at night, the program I dedicated at night is my Futures First Education Zoom. Adam, if Adam wants to send Zoom, if you will, there, the link to join our Futures First, if he wants to trade at night. He'll send you a link, a special link for you, Zoom. Silver's already up 5 cents since I told David he ought to look at buying it. That ain't bad. That's $250 on the biggie. William tells Adam, don't go to the beach without MTI. That's good, Adam. That's good, William. We got a great crowd of people. I want to thank everybody for being here. Folks, I'll see everybody at 11 o'clock tomorrow. Pay attention. This is not a night that you want to waste time. You want to stay in touch. I'll be in touch through TNT. Tonight at 9, I will post the moneymaker in there in the TNT room. I'll be back at 5:15 in the morning with all the key information to get you started on your day.
And for those that logged in late, I'm about to replay tonight's session. So
Hey, I'd like to hear it. I think I was on a roll. I think I hit some key points, Adam.
sounds good.
All right, get involved. Don't stay on the sidelines.
All right, that was a replay from last night. Dex says, very clear, Tom. Thanks for having the session last night like he does every Sunday night. Thanks for the training trade today. Market timing indicator, dtitrader.com/MTI. Once you join, head over to the members area. You can find the codes to install it and the instructional video to install it as well. And then you want to go find the education portion of MTI by DTI. We have many hours of Tom educating on the signals and on the scanner. So that's dtitrader.com/MTI, or call us at 904-706-3532. All you SPX folks will be live again at 3:30 this afternoon Eastern Time. We'll see you then.